In my parents' house there was a drawer which had a very special purpose. Unlike all the other drawers and cupboards in the kitchen, this had a purpose entirely unrelated to cooking, baking or eating. Instead, this one stored batteries, power cables for unknown electrical items, oddments of string, a drill bit, some newspaper clippings, shards of a decomposing carrier bag, a half-eaten tin of boiled sweets now all stuck together, a couple of rolls of sellotape, light bulbs of various sorts, an old toothbrush, perhaps even some keys for previous houses we'd left years ago. You get the idea. It was the drawer of random stuff that either didn't really have a place to go or which my parents had not had the inclination to put away. Quite probably most of the stuff in that drawer had been put there by Mum, yet it was known to us all as Dad's drawer. As a family, we were far from a house-proud family, but Mum was keen that there was a place for everything and everything should be in its place. My sister and I were encouraged to keep our rooms tidy. Well, I say encouraged, but I should really say it was insisted upon, and every so often we would go home from school and be informed that our rooms were a pigsty, and we would then not be able to do anything else until our rooms were cleaned. However, I can remember one occasion. Actually, I'm quite sure that there were more than just one occasion, but this one sticks in my mind, when I wanted to go out that evening, and so I decided that I would simply pick everything up and shove it in the bottom of my wardrobe. Clothes, both clean and dirty, books, Lego, shoes, school bag, towels, pens, crisp packets, bottles, plates, spoons, half-eaten chocolate bars, you name it. It all went in one big heap, and the door was then jammed shut, and I was proud of myself. That evening, after tea, I reassured my mum that my room was tidy, and I went round to my friends. But after I'd been there for perhaps half an hour, his mum came up the stairs to say that my mum was on the phone wanting to speak to me. I went and picked up the phone and was told to come straight home. Why? Well, although I didn't know, you've probably guessed. She'd gone into my room and opened the wardrobe door, perhaps to hang up some clean clothes, and the whole guddle that I'd shoved in there then poured out and into my room. I was in trouble. But at that moment, I thought I had the trump card. But that's no different to what you do to Dad's drawer in the kitchen, I protested. She was furious. Do as I say, not as I do, she said through gritted teeth, and get home now. My response? But Mother, don't you think that's a bit hypocritical? At that moment, I went from being in a world of trouble to a whole galaxy, a whole universe of trouble. Sometimes I am so dumb. Welcome to Selah, time to pause. Taking time out each weekday in the midst of our lives to draw near to God and refresh our spirits.
When I stop and breathe in your presence, just breathe.
Matthew 23, verses 23 to 28. Woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You give 1/10 of your spices, mint, dill, and cumin, but you have neglected the more important matters of the law, justice, mercy, and faithfulness. You should have practiced the latter without neglecting the former. You blind guides, you strain out a gnat, but swallow a camel. Woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You clean the outside of the cup and dish, but in the insides they are full of greed and self-indulgence. Blind Pharisee! First clean the inside of the cup and dish, and then the outside also will be clean. Woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You are like whitewashed tombs, which look beautiful on the outside, but on the inside are full of bones of the dead and everything unclean. In the same way, on the outside you appear to people as righteous, but on the inside you are full of hypocrisy and wickedness.
Sometimes Jesus says things that do not seem to make much sense. First wash the inside of the cup, and then the outside will become clean too. If he were to say that sort of thing today, the local food and hygiene inspector would be having a fit, because of course it won't. The outside must be washed as well. Would any of you be happy to frequent a coffee shop or pub that only ever wash the inside of their cups or glasses? We all just take it for granted that any self-respecting establishment, and actually the other ones too, will wash the inside and the outside of their cups. Yes, it's important that the inside is cleaned, but that doesn't make the whole cup suitable to be served. Jesus is talking rubbish. Even with a glass where you can see the inside, you need to clean the outside as well. And when you clean the inside, the outside does not suddenly become clean. That would be a miracle. Though perhaps that's exactly the point that Jesus is making, and exactly the reason why this passage from Matthew's Gospel is our cross-reference passage for this week. On Monday, I spoke about the need for holy living springing from our recreated nature as a result of our rebirth. And in the analogy Jesus is drawing here, the outside of the cup represents our actions. No matter how hard we try, even if we were somehow able to take up the full-scale Pharisaic life, we would never be able to live the totally sin-free life. The outside of our cup would never be clean, and nothing we could ever do, no amount of scrubbing we could ever scrub would ever be able to remove every stain from the outside. That would take a miracle. And Jesus promises that we will find one if the inside is made clean. To quote myself, "Through being born again of God, we are empowered to live a holy life through the moral transformation and renewal of our entire spiritual nature by the Holy Spirit. Through rebirth, the inside of our cups is cleaned, and through rebirth, the outside, by the miracle of the grace of holiness, begins to clean itself too."
Proverbs 7:1-3 says, "My son, keep my words and store up my commands within you. Keep my commands and you will live. Guard my teachings as the apple of your eye. Bind them on your fingers. Write them on the tablet of your heart."
Lord, wash me within and make my heart pure. And on those whitewashed internal walls, write your commands bold and clear, and then grant once more the miracle.
Purify my heart, let me be as gold and precious silver. Purify my heart, let me be as gold, pure gold, refined as fire. My heart's one desire is to be set apart for you, Lord. I choose to be holy, set apart for you, my Master, ready to do your will. Me from within and make me holy. Purify my heart, cleanse me from my sin. Deep within, refine as fire. Is to be holy, set apart for you, Lord. I choose to be holy, set apart for you, my Master, ready to do your will. is to be holy, set apart for you, Lord. I choose to be holy, set apart for you, my Master, ready to do your will. And I am ready to do your will. Make me ready to do your will.
I hope you'll join with us again tomorrow, as once again we pause to refresh our spirits.